The Better on Draft podcast is part of the PodcastDetroit.com network and is recorded live in the Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming in Ferndale, Michigan.
Now, pop that 40 and kick back. Here is Dan, Nick, Ken, and Rob.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Better on Draft podcast, episode number 27. My name is Ken. We got a packed house tonight.
Full house.
Yes, sir.
No, there's a chair over there.
We do have an open chair, so it's not as packed as the last time that we had these folks here. But let's go around the room. Let's see who we got. Nick, what's going on?
I'm doing not that bad, actually.
Not that bad?
It's opening day.
Opening day, we won.
Yes.
Well, the Tigers won. I was not there. I did not participate.
Yeah, 4-0. Good game. Good crowd. Good atmosphere.
Saw all the parking tickets that were all the illegal parked cars on my street.
Oh, was there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we were able to park at Tara's work lot, use our work pass and park.
Over at the Z?
Yeah, at the Z. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice place to nice spot to have when you work downtown is to have that.
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to be down there today. It was a good game. Good win.
Good win, yes. Tony, what's going on?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh, is it this kind of show? Show for the wrong day or something?
Yeah, this is the
Passover special.
I was gonna say the Passover special.
Have you guys ever had a Jewish guest before?
Maybe.
Okay, see, I'm just trying to represent for everybody. That
we typically do not ask somebody's religion as credentials to get on the show. So, you know.
You're not trying to make it. You're not trying to make America great again.
Trump's not hosting this.
Better on matzah.
I'm gonna say we have the maybe we can find the guys who brew Hebrew National. Get them on the show.
I'm just trying to represent
beer.
For all the people that haven't been here yet. Soon to be.
So passing right past you, Brown, one of the original hosts of Better on Draft. What's going on?
You know what? Drinking a beer.
Drinking a beer.
That's really about it.
What are you drinking over there?
This is Penner from Oskar Blues. I can speak the English language, I promise.
What do you think of it?
You know, it's pretty mild for an IPA, which makes it not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to like a lot of the stronger IPAs. I know you're feeling on Devil Dancer, which I like.
I can't wait. I've got almost a 1-year-old aged Devil Dancer that I'm going to be trying very, very soon.
I want to be here for that.
See how the hops have fallen off, that's for sure. I also have a 1-year aged Hop Slam that I'm excited to try too, but that was definitely a favorite of mine when I've had it before. But next to you, we got Rob over there.
Yes, sir.
Representing the Tigers baseball shirt. Did you go to the game today, or were you?
Absolutely did not.
Did not. What are you drinking, though?
I am drinking the Rhinegeist Truth.
Did you make your trip down to Toledo?
No.
Or is this just something that you had?
No, this was from my previous trip. That I still had some more IPA that was still sitting in the basement. So figured I'd bring one of those cans in.
Get it before it goes bad, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And now, actually, I don't have to go as far as Cincinnati to get it because they just started distributing it to Toledo.
Yes.
Because all of these
Andersons or Marinos to get it now.
Yep. So now it is a little bit closer. It's a pretty damn good IPA.
Next to you, we got Matt. What's going on?
Hi, Ken. What's going on with you?
I'm all right.
That's all that matters, all right?
I'm drinking an Allagash White over here. Delicious. Straight from the brewery itself from like almost a year ago, I think is when it was.
Mr. Allagash make that?
Mr. Allagash maybe have made it. I do not know who owns the Allagash brewery, but
you tell Senor Allagash.
Senor.
Just
why does it have to be a man? Why can't it be Senorita?
All right, well, Senora, it would be the proper syntax, correct?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't speak English either.
No habla español.
You don't speak English?
Or for the Germans, the Fräulein Allagash.
El generico
Numero uno.
Can you make a Chuck Taylor no bueno?
Thank you, Tony. Keeping going. Dan, what's going on?
What's going on, buddy?
What are you drinking?
Some beer in a cup. I don't know what it is.
Beer in a cup.
It came out of that keg. Out there.
Is this a frat party?
Frat party.
That's how it felt.
No, there's no Miller High Life or PBR.
No, really, I would. I almost grabbed a PBR. Then I'm like, let me check the keg. So that's what I'm drinking.
So it's
No Busch Light up in
probably
here?
something from falling down. I'm gonna go.
Well, I'm not plugging people that don't sponsor us. So yeah, it's just beer in a cup.
Snip, snap.
Oh,
Testy. I like
it's
it.
not real testy. That's reality. Come on.
Well, I am drinking, in fact, again, as I mentioned, Allagash White. Probably one of my favorite beers that used to come to Michigan and does not anymore, but I'm hoping sooner or later they do make their way back. They used to make 750s of them, so that would be a nice,
Oh, really?
one or two
What
beer
about
night.
40s? They make 40s.
They used to make 40s.
They did. Really? Is this
but
real?
No, it's not. I was just entertaining
Here we
you.
go.
Just entertaining you.
I was hoping he was going to fool me. I'm like, no, they didn't.
40s are plastic now, just so you know.
I know. I hate that. That is one of the worst things that's ever happened.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes.
Colt 45 is still glass for the most part.
At least somebody's going to represent the true 40s.
Most super below premiums are
gosh.
they're so cheap that they went to the plastic because it's cheap for them to ship, so it's cheaper for them to sell. Ice House, $1.05 for a 40.
I was so disappointed when I found these plastic
I can
bottles.
attest to that because I had that tall boy a couple episodes ago of Ice House.
I was going to say, I forgot you brought the Ice
How
House
cheap
here.
it was.
I thought you were referencing to Dan bringing the Natty Daddies.
Oh, that was great. That was episode 25,
No,
25 ounces.
We're not going to talk about that.
Great times. I finished mine. I don't know about you guys. I thought it was good.
No,
I still, it's been 2 weeks. I still can't believe we got toasts on Untapped on.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Some people got class.
What about Steel?
Take it easy.
Oh, yeah,
Not everyone's all stuck up.
Steel Reserve has flavors now. They have a blueberry,
yeah.
blackberry.
I've been meaning to grab some of these actually.
A margarita and a pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
Steel Reserve, it's the way to go.
Dan, I'm
Budweiser,
gonna
Bud
leave it
Light's got those mixed tails now.
No,
Yeah.
those have already been discontinued.
Oh, have they really?
The mix
They started out last February in
Yeah.
Michigan, and they discontinued the Firewalker the week it started in Michigan. They have a Long Island and a Hurricane,
Yeah.
but neither of them are in retail that have rebought. They're all the original from last February.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go find some. That might be some.
They are aluminum aged, if you will.
aluminum.
Yes. Trade
Yeah,
Dylan doing
Brown
it.
loves Steel Reserve, don't you?
You know, I have a special place in my heart for Steel Reserve. Also on the side of a sidewalk.
Also on the side of not Muldoon.
Me and Nick are OE
Parking
800
lot.
guys.
Yes. Give me some old English. I'll take some old English.
Oh goodness.
So we're we got a full
Some
house
Mickeys.
today. We're pretty much going to be discussing a little bit more sports than beer this week, just because it is a big sports day in the city of Detroit.
Yes.
We are all Detroiters through and through. Some of us live in the city. Some of us have lived in the city. Not that matters. The fact that
I was
matters.
going to say, wait, why does that matter?
I said it didn't matter.
You're
Jeez,
like,
Dan,
oh,
calm
then
down.
why-
Quickly change. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's okay.
we're going to be talking a little bit about the Red Wings, a little bit about how they're doing. Opening day, Tigers are 3-0 right now as we speak, and crushing the ball pretty much every single game that they're playing. With that in mind, though, we definitely have some beers on the table that we are going to be trying. We've got from, I believe, Ommegang, their newest Game of Thrones beer. We've got CEO Imperial Stout that we're going to be trying today.
Is this one of those flavored ones? That I
No,
brought
this
in
is just
before?
the Imperial. So the standard, I think they're standard one.
I was
don't
going to
think
say,
there's a
those are
flavored
pretty
one.
rough when we tried those before.
Yeah, and then Nick, you got another one
And
that I
that's
can't
Securities
read
and
from.
Finance, IPA.
Is that the security meeting?
Yeah, that's safety.
Oh, safety meeting.
Yeah.
So that's not the Donald Trump one, though. That's a different
No.
one.
This is a different one.
It's not orange.
Still looking for that one.
There's no orange bottle.
No orange bottle?
Sorry, spray tan joke. I'm sorry.
Or orangutan joke.
So, as we're talking in regards to beer, obviously one of the big things that is around beer is tailgating.
Yes.
And I know a lot of us have tailgated before. A lot of us tailgate for different reasons, be it sporting events, concerts, just because.
I was going to say there's a parking lot.
Because there's a parking lot.
There is a parking lot.
Were we not all tailgating before this?
I guess technically, we weren't outside, so post tailgating might occur after the show.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
But the fact is tailgating. Now, what's your guys' opinion in regards to you go to a lot at $40 to park? Do you pretty much have free range to basically throw your shit wherever you want because you paid $40 to park there? Or is that, dickish?
That's extremely dickish.
Yeah.
That's going beyond. I mean, just because people can be mad because of the fact that they paid $40 to park there, and that's just the price of opening day. It's like the same thing with the whole Real Madrid Chelsea that's getting ready to go down at the Big House this year.
Geez.
That like last year, I knew people who were pissed off because they were paying $100 to park in the lot next to Michigan Stadium. Paying that does not give you the right to just completely destroy the lot.
One of the big things, and I don't know if it's for the fact of, what's in my head whenever I go tailgating, whether I'm paying to park or not, and especially, when I'm out and about, I've been to plenty of your guys' houses. You guys have been over to me. I'm definitely the one that hates leaving something a mess. I'm always one to clean up. I'm always one to help clean up. I don't like leaving my shit around.
My house, could use some assistance then, Ken.
Yeah,
but that's all your fault, though. It's not Ken's fault.
Ken needs to come clean up after you. Or?
Let me rephrase that. Cleaning up after my own mess.
There you go.
Not after your mess. That you don't
now,
clean
the one
up
thing I want to
after.
comment on that is I agree. I don't think you should be trashing these guys' parking lots. But you know what? On days like this, on opening day,
It's expected.
they should probably get a giant-ass bin and throw a trash bag in it for people.
That's true, which they usually don't have. If you're going to gouge people, raising the price for no reason, there is no reason. Opening day,
get a
you've got
dumpster.
how many days? 80-some more days to do this? Why do you have to gouge one?
So I was at the game today, and we ended up at Bookies, so we actually got to see a lot of the lots from Bookies all the way to Comerica Park. Now, a lot of the lots in between, if I'm not mistaken, are owned by Olympia Entertainment.
Yep.
So, they might have. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any garbage cans or anything like
usually
that.
don't.
But you got to think about how much.
I'm thinking where Bookies is down there. Yeah, there's never any garbage cans in any of
and
those.
if you just you walk through, at least we can call 10, 11, 12 different instances where there was someone occupying 3 or 4 additional spots for their stuff, and it was a mess, and
3 or 4 spots.
I could play devil's
for
advocate.
well, actually, they have like a tent. They'll have their barbecue. They'll have
Tables,
cornhole set up. They had a little oversized Jenga thing set up.
There are two. I'm not the first person to defend corporations ever, but there are 2 devil's advocate points with trash cans everywhere. And that's, remember, Michigan's a bottle return state, so you're going to have people rummaging through them for the return money.
Yeah.
And you're also going to have people rummaging through that for food and whatever might be left
On that
over.
point,
they have to be attended in some way. Maybe if there's one next to every person that's taking parking money.
can we take a greater debate between kegs versus loose cases?
Oh, somebody's like casks.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So what's best to take to a tailgate? Is it better to have your group takes a keg and you all pump it and you have your red cup, or is it best to have 2 to 3 cases of loose cans where you drink a can and you throw the can away?
Well,
so that's kind of
the cup
like
is
that's the
definitely
next
a-
idea.
So how? I mean, I don't know if any people are bringing kegs down. I mean, I'm sure there's some. I'm not going to just say that there aren't any, but when we were parking over at the Z, we parked at the Z and walked to Bookies and then went back to the game. We saw dozens of people bringing in cases, 6-packs, 12-packs of their own beer to wherever their friends were at, whether they were in a parking lot next to a bar or some random parking lot where there's nothing around. This is probably close to deep to the MGM Grand. There's a lot more spots out there. But it was everybody. It seemed like every third or fourth person was carrying something.
But I guess my thought
bring
is
to a tailgate.
I can get a quarter barrel of your American light lager for $40, which is 2.5 cases of beer, which is pretty much as cheap, if not cheap, if it's getting actually
actually a pretty good deal.
Suitcases. And if we did that, and I mean that's also kind of a Detroit law. You can't have those open containers, but you can hide them by having a can and all that jibber jabber.
Right.
But if you would encourage the idea of having a barrel in a back of a truck or whatever, the consumer would pay less. They'd probably pay $60 for a quarter barrel, which is 3 cases of beer. They would have no cleanup because there aren't going to be cans everywhere. Everyone would just have a red cup, and probably the 4 people amongst them would pay $15 a piece. They'd all get a half to a quarter of a case, depending on how much you're going to drink, and it solves the entire problem. See, this is an issue that I think that would help Detroit as a whole and I know that others have thought the idea of having a drinking zone, an open intox zone in Detroit, of having that idea where it would bring a lot of tax revenue to the city if in some areas, specifically around the stadiums, you can carry an open intox. You have all these bars that are going to pop around because of the hockey village, as they call it, and it was supposed to be the same with the Ford Field and with Comerica Park.
Right.
So if you go to a bar, they can sell you a certain specific cup. Maybe it's got a stripe on it like it does at a golf course, and it charges this. The city charges you an extra $1, but you can take that cup from that, the bar that you're at to the next bar and wherever you want to go. And the city gets $1 for you having an open intox, and maybe you don't act like a fool anymore because everyone's doing it, just like in Las Vegas. You don't get a whole lot of drunken publics or being an idiot.
You do in Vegas. Yeah, but you're right. There's not a mess though either, which is a big deal.
But then you get that extra $1. So I mean, imagine in all of us suburbanites or those that live in Detroit who go down there and try to have fun. I mean, we could all, if we all pay $1 for every drink that we have in the city of Detroit. I mean, the trash cans that we want to have a clean city and to clean parking lots and having a better atmosphere and be both before, during, and after a Tigers game or a Lions game in the fall or even a Red Wings game if the weather isn't that terrible. These are things that the city can provide, and we can as citizens provide the city, even as those who live in and out, to help the city grow and be better. I mean, we have these issues with troubling schools, and let's not get into politics, but if every drink I give, is a little bit 25 cents to the city, to the education, or so on and so forth, so on and so, let's do that.
Well, even if you use that money to pay for the garbage cans for people to wash the garbage cans, to empty it, all you need is a flatbed, and a guy can literally start running around and emptying out garbage cans and take it to some type of major dump site for them to dump all the trash, but. That's not necessarily a bad idea. I think the biggest issue is that then you're going to get into a lot of he said, she said, a lot of people that don't want to pay it. They just want to bring their beer and go.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. But those people will get tickets. But just like when you go to a golf course, with all those cups and cans on the golf course, they have a stripe on them. There's a yellow stripe on a can at a golf course. And that's proof that you bought that can at the golf course. Right. So if you show up, or if they catch you on the 8th hole, they're going to charge you money for not buying it from them.
But that's a lot different because that golf course could potentially lose their liquor license for people bringing in their own liquor.
But the person who is not going to spend that $1 to get that yellow stripe can get a drunken public or disorderly or a whatever. We can make you pay $1 to be able to drink in public, or you pay a $50 ticket or citation, just like when you park on the street in the wrong spot or you get a moving violation. It's the same program. It's just a matter of putting it together, enforcing, and really building the right situation. But it's something that we can do if we put it together.
Tony mentioned in regards to being in his 2 points and playing devil's advocate. What would you think? How would you portray that even at the opposite end, or do you agree that that's pretty much a good solution to the problem?
Me what can go wrong with this plan?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're a skeptic.
Lawyer. There's not much that can go wrong with that plan except for people faking or forging the drinking equipment.
We're talking about a cup, so you forge $1 cup.
Sure, and that's where you kind of hit people with the convenience. If it's only $1 for the cup and it lasts you the entire day, who's going to waste the time to?
I don't think it would be an entire day. I think. We're at opening
for the zone for that.
No, my idea is imagine Foxtown is what I think they called it in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's still Foxtown.
So if you're at Shelley's, okay, and you go and get a pint of your favorite American Light Lager. Let's say I go there and I get a pint of Miller Lite and I get a clear plastic cup with a yellow lid around it. So that cup is only valid for that drink. But the next time I go to the Well, which is right down the street, I have to go pay another extra $1 to be able to walk from the Well back to Comerica.
So you're not refilling the cup, you're redoing it.
Nobody's going to want to pay an extra $1 for a cup. It doesn't matter if the beer would be discounted. People just, in their minds, have this terrible problem where they can't justify spending more money for any reason whatsoever. And I mean, 51% of the people out there. It makes sense to me. I would do that. But you're going to have a bunch of morons and idiots that won't do that.
But I think that you've got so many people down there that are paying $10 to go get a pint in Ford Field. So asking for an extra $1 on a $2-3 pint at Elwood or
I agree with you. I'm just saying that most people aren't going to give a shit if it's $5 or $6 and it's cheaper. If they think that they're paying that extra $1 for the zoning thing, they're just going to be dumb about it. And that's not anything you can really do anything about. It's just people being irrational. So, but I think otherwise it's a very good idea.
Anybody else? I mean,
No, I think it's a great idea. I don't know why we don't have something. More cities should have that.
how many major cities out there have open intox?
New Orleans and Vegas. I can't think of another one. Maybe Atlantic City. I've never been there. I don't know.
It almost makes too much sense. That's why we don't have it.
I can't believe Chicago doesn't have it. New York doesn't have it. It's really kind of shocking.
Chicago's definitely an interesting one, especially because
what do we? Is that champagne? You got
It's
some
not champagne.
Ace of Spades.
Top,
We just opened the Ace of Spades, so just get ready for that.
Well, I mean, going to like Soldier Field, the walk is a pretty long walk in regards to wherever you're parking because you're pretty much walking the. It's not the Miracle Mile, it's the Nautical Mile.
No, it is Miracle.
No, it is the Miracle.
You're talking about the Miracle Mile.
Miracle Mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're
Talking about
walking
Michigan Avenue.
Yeah,
and
you're walking a very long road in regards to getting
the
it to where.
Magnificent Mile.
Okay. Well,
Oh, thank you. No, you're right. You're right. Miracle Mile somewhere else
took me a minute.
everywhere.
New York, I think.
Might be.
So you're basically walking. I mean, it was like a 30-40 minute walk, and I would have loved to have had a beer or two.
And you know what the idea is, like if I go to Boogies, okay, and I typically when I go down to Detroit, I park at MGM because I know it's free, and then I find a bar like Boogies, and then I have a beer or two, and then I walk to Comerica because I go in I go in around 11 to avoid the traffic. And then I walk in early just so I don't do. I mean, there's a great place called Hot Taco. I don't know if you've ever been
They're
there.
not bad.
Yeah.
But like,
is that over by?
That's by
Bucharest. It's over by what
Yeah,
used to be
kind of
by
by
the
the Sound
Centaur.
Pump,
It's by
that whole area.
Centaur. It used to be down
Pump.
from
So I mean, just imagine if like a place like Bucharest or what's it called now, the Park Avenue or whatever.
So, I think
the Park Grill.
Yeah,
or
Park
the Park
Avenue
Bar,
Grill.
Park
something.
Bar or whatever.
Yeah.
You can stop there at that or Bookies, get a beer I'll pay $4.25 for maybe a tall with a yellow ribbon around it, and I'll drink that on my way to Comerica Park because it's going to take me 10 minutes to walk in, especially with the traffic that I'm going to hit and the line that I'm going to walk into. And
Yeah.
I mean, just if we could spend, 3 million people go through the turnstiles. If you can get half people, that's almost $150 million for the city. I mean, it almost seems like it's why wouldn't you? But sorry, logic. I know that doesn't always.
Detroit.
That's always
There's
good.
There's
It doesn't
that
win
logic.
elections. It doesn't move people around.
It's like you said. It's that you're sitting in Comerica Park and you're paying $10 for a beer, and then you're going outside of the park, going to a bar, and you're paying $5. You're like, oh great, I
Half
saved
price.
about half price, and all of a sudden, wait, what's this extra $1 for? I mean, it wasn't even worth the walk.
But nobody's going in and out of Comerica to drink. It's more of like going to Comerica or coming back for, or when you're like when you're like at I went to the Luke Bryan concert with my girlfriend, and I was standing outside with the Elwood, right?
Elwood, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't leave that little closed gate. So what if I leave the closed gate for a second? Well, I can't. Then I have to drop my beer off and go. So what if I have that little tag around? I'm already paying $5 for a 12-ounce bottle of beer.
Right.
If I pay $1 more, is that really going to make or break my night? I mean, I'm going to go into Ford Field and pay $9 for an aluminum pint of whatever.
That's the thing, and a lot of people, and what I don't understand is that if you're not going in there prepared to pay those prices in the first place, then you shouldn't be going there in the first place.
Right.
Well, it's not like the stadiums have to let you in with those walk your own beer things.
No, we're not asking
that by the
to.
time you're at the stadium.
It's the idea of walking around the city, just being a casual. I mean, it wants to be a metropolitan city like Chicago, like Vegas, where people just kind of gather. They go to cafe to cafe.
Maybe if you want to walk along the riverfront too
and have a beer.
You're talking riverfront. I'm more thinking like Campus Martius area.
Well, I know. I'm just adding it to the place to walk though.
If you guys remember the Super Bowl, they actually did have that in the whole.
Did they really?
Area. Well, down Woodward there, you could go in the tents, get beer, and the whole closed off area between Campus Martius and 75, where it was all closed off. You could buy drinks and walk around.
Yeah, what if you
outside.
can go to Lafayette or American Coney Island and get a dog?
Nobody goes to
$2
American
beer?
Coney Island. Stop. Lafayette's the only one down there.
Well, what if you get a beer there? You get a $2 pint. It probably costs the restaurant 60 cents to pour you a pint.
Yeah.
They sell it to you for $2. There's a city upcharge for $1. So, or let's even say 50 cents. So you pay $2.50 for a pint of your favorite lawnmower beer, your Bud Light, your Miller Lite, and then you stroll through Campus Marshes or the riverfront or wherever. I mean, how is? I mean,
there is no downside to it.
Maybe what you do is you give the people that buy the beer in these locations the option to pay the extra $1 to get the stripe and then carry it.
Yes, so I can drink in America or Lafayette Colonial. I'm sorry, apparently nobody goes to America.
No one goes to America.
So I can drink at the well for free, or I can have it to go walk across the Punch Bowl Social and pay $1 and not get a ticket when I take my cup across the street. And
And at that point, then places can be like, they won't accept you until you have an empty glass or you can't get in.
That's fine.
That's their.
How is that? I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, okay, so I have to walk 100 yards, but I have to finish my beer in between.
It's a lot more money the city will be collecting.
Don't threaten me with a good time, as the drunk chick on
I don't think they
Love One
stop a
said.
whole lot of people for open containers anyway. So this is money that they just aren't bringing in that they would be bringing in if they tried something like this.
And
Well,
just
yeah,
keeps the
because
city
it's a
clean.
lot easier instead of hiding it, or hiding it in a koozie or hiding
Even if you
it
have it wide
wherever.
open, the police really
No,
they have better
nobody
things
cares.
to do.
Yeah,
Right.
most don't care.
Hey, you'd save the environment on brown paper bags not being used for the 40s.
and then being left on the ground. I see a win-win here.
Sorry for hijacking the show.
No, it's fine.
No, it's actually not a bad idea.
Although you would have a fight with party store owners who are used to selling that 24-ounce can in a brown paper bag, like on the Monroe Street in Washington.
But I know a lot of them that sell to-go cups too. I don't know how it would change.
Those are usually liquor, which is a
yeah.
different brand.
Well, why don't they just get a to-go license?
They'll just get
then?
the
Why
they'll
can't
just get the
you-
cups as well, and then pour it for
The
the
to-go
person.
license is a state issue, just like even liquor stores or small party stores like gas stations who have beer and wine license trying to get liquor license. That's an entire state issue, which needs to be addressed at a grander scale.
Yeah, but what about in reference to something like 8 Degrees Plato, where they're a beer-only store and they have a to-go license? I mean, if you have a liquor license with a beer-only to-go...
But I know a store, it's called Parkview at Masonic and Jefferson, and they've had a beer and wine license and liquor license for a long time now, and they just applied for like a sampling license, and now they have to, every time they want to have a sampling, they have to apply for, with the state to have it and let them know like a month in advance.
Oh, geez.
And do all that stuff. So all the red tape.
Wow.
The answer is because of red tape.
Because of Michigan at that point.
Yeah, because we don't want to put lead in the pipes. That's why.
Because Jesus. Wow. All right. That was a rough answer to that one.
We are in the wrong state for that.
So you guys should definitely get some glasses over to Nick because I'm trying this the Ommegang Game of Thrones, the blonde ale that he's got over there.
How is it?
It's really good. Have you had it yet?
I have not. Just wondering why the camera keeps bouncing up and down on Twitch.
What are you doing over there?
I have no idea. Okay.
You actually tried.
Don't pour me
you
a lot.
actually try some of this truth. It's kind of gone half barley wine. You might actually.
Was it sitting around for a while?
I don't know who wanted that one. but-
It's on the date because I was looking for the date. It's on the bottom. It was from November last year.
Oh my
so-
gosh, that's horrible. Then you know what? We just got to throw it away.
No, it was-
Drain pour it now.
11:05 isn't a bad time to can barley wine. It's only 4 months old, or 5 months old.
Yeah, but it's not a barley
Let's say
wine.
it's not barley wine.
It's an IPA.
Oh yeah, that's
There's your Game of
This
Thrones.
this Game of Thrones can be dangerous.
that's mild. It
Just
tastes
a little
like,
bit, Nick. I'm not a huge
This
wine fan.
Rhinegeist tastes
Yeah.
like a wart. It's just all like sugary and
Well,
There, nothing
malty.
crazy.
yeah. No, this is still it's still not bad. I like it.
I wouldn't.
Oh
kick
no,
it
I'm
out
sure
of
I'd
bed.
like it.
It will not give you IPA face. So I think you'll be fine.
Well, you guys really got to see that for the first time when Roke was here, and I had that blow
And
your
you had to
face
blow your
out.
face out.
Oh,
That
my
was
God.
IPA face.
That was. I was
At-
damn good
at its
beer.
purest.
I thought Keystone Light said that was bitter beer face.
Bitter beer face. There you go. It's like Keith Stone.
That's
Keith
right.
Stone rolling in.
Ken, was that your devil dancer face? I just need to know if it was the same one.
It wasn't as bad as the Devil Dancer face, that's for sure. Like
Do you want me
I remember it was one of the very first episodes that Brown and I did, and I remember the entire show I was drinking that one bottle of Devil Dancer because I couldn't slam it, I couldn't drink it. I was just stomaching it.
I don't even think he finished it. I'm not gonna lie. I might have finished it.
Did I have it when I was with you? Because the first time I had it, we were over Skype.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I remember when we did the episode with you. That was the Two Hearted episode.
That was a fun one.
Is that where you
Yeah.
were tasting based on dates?
Yeah, a 4-day-old
Lord.
Two Hearted versus a 4-week-old Two Hearted. If you
Didn't
could
you
tell
say
the
that
difference.
it tasted pretty much the same?
Yeah,
Like,
the only way we were able to
Is if you
figure it out
literally held
after
it
the
in
fact.
a glass cup up to the light and like look through it.
Yeah, we could tell the difference.
The newer
that
one was
way.
a little clearer.
Did you try like 4-month-old? Because usually beers in
No,
general
we
have like
didn't.
110-day.
No, this was
shelf
fun
life.
because
This-
somebody was wanted like the freshest Two Hearted Ale you could get
Yeah,
possible.
like he was upset that he found a 4-week-old bottle of Two Hearted on the shelf.
Can I point something out? I found
You're
a.
going to anyways. So. It's not even my show anymore. All right, Better on Draft with Matt Bush.
I try. I found a Miller Lite Ice 40 this week
Oh my gosh.
that expired in October of 2010.
And you did.
Did you buy it?
I did buy it, and
Miller Lite Ice.
if we want to ever,
Have a good time. Bring it in. We'll have a good time.
If you want to die, on
Episode
air.
number 40. You want to bring
Yeah,
that
bring
in?
it. Yeah, bring it in on episode 40.
Yeah, we
Let
we've
me know when
got
40's coming around. I'll make sure I got the Friday off.
Well, Dan's
40
coming in
40s.
from Europe.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to wake up in Europe
Dan's
that
from
day and
Europe.
fly here.
The president of the Michigan Brewers Guild will be here, Eric Brigman,
And we'll be drinking 40s.
and we'll be drinking 40s, and he's down
times.
too. Like he's not he's not too
like the
shy about
UFC
it.
has UFC 100. That was like their pinnacle. Better
We
on
watched that.
Better on
We
Draft
did.
40 is going to be our pinnacle.
That was the Coors Light episode. Was that when he said, I'm not drinking Bud Light, I'm drinking Coors Light?
because they
But
paid
you
me.
talk about Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar. Yeah.
Good times, good times.
a
So
long
I
time
think
ago.
let's go back and let's kind of sum up in regards to it. So you pay for parking,
Summarize.
even though we'll play the fact there is no trash can in the vicinity of your parking lot.
Nope.
Do you throw it on the ground and it's okay because you paid $40, or do you put it in your trunk?
You know what
and
though?
you-
To counter my own thing, this I was the one that brought up the trash can idea. Not that hard to bring a damn trash bag with you when you go.
I agree.
That's
I
true.
mean,
Like-
when you're planning tailgating, that's something
Right.
you should.
There's the reason why you put junk in the trunk.
I mean, to kind of add to Brown's point, that might if you're not going to put garbage cans there, I think as a courtesy to Olympia Entertainment or whoever the lot owner is, doing the garbage bag thing, just leaving it there on the side at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. They
I
wouldn't
think
mind picking up a
that'll
garbage bag than garbage.
that'll go way farther than
at
just
this-
throwing it on the ground.
At the same point, I think there's a standard, and then there's just being a decent human being.
Yeah.
And I think so many of us just say, like Ken said, I paid $40 to do what I want. But there's not enough people who say, you know what, I'll be a decent human being.
Yeah.
I'll make sure my party, I'll bring a garbage can for no particular reason, but just to do it.
yeah,
And I'll, make it work.
yeah.
I mean, could it possibly, and I guess I'd kind of throw it around the room, is it possible that, with it being a lot being owned by Olympia and they're charging $40, could it be part of that? Could be in the anticipation of knowing that there's going to be trash and they have to pay for getting that cleaned up in the first place?
That could be the case.
That's
It
just,
should
that's just
be.
them being price gouging jerks because
Well, yeah.
we went to see a concert
point.
in Ford Field last fall, and everybody doubled their prices, and nobody virtually was drinking beforehand out, just walking around
Right.
the streets. So
Yeah.
they know it's gonna be populated down there. The prices are getting doubled.
That was the AC/DC concert, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I figured it's going to be, it's opening day. Of course they're going to charge more.
Well, I remember right.
If there's anything that's
You-
going to drive foot traffic, they are going to up.
You
shoot
got to
the price
understand
up.
one thing though, is that they are losing as much as you're talking about it. They are potentially losing money because there are a lot of people who will park further away and take a $5 Uber ride.
Oh, yeah.
I'll park at the Joe and just take the people mover.
But the reason they do that is because the parking lots cost so much.
And what do you think? What do you think about the city imposing a fine on unwieldy lot owners? Like, say after let's say the game ended at 4:00.
Yeah.
At 6, 7 o'clock, the city goes through and they write tickets to these people that operate the lots and say, your lot is nasty or there's too much litter. So I mean, if I pay $40 to park somewhere and there's 200 spots, that person's going to make what, $8,000 basically? You don't think to Brown's point, they could easily put a trash can in a couple of spots and avoid the point or the issue. So the city cracks down on the lot owner, and a lot of them might be owned by Olympia, but there's a lot of people who in random vests.
So what if the reason why I said Olympia is because there's a lot in that gap between Comerica
that whole area.
So what if the city went around and at every lot wrote a ticket to everybody who had trash on it, and the next time there's an opening day or a concert or so on and so forth, those people are going to be proactive so they don't get that ticket of whatever it is to clean up their lot.
So you basically put the responsibility on everyone, both the people who are there.
Well, I mean, if you're going to charge $400, if you're going to charge $40 to park, which I don't know if it's that big, but it's still probably steep.
Oh,
it is.
It depends on how close the lot is and what the event is. But
so,
I mean, if you're across 375 over by the unbuilt jail, it's $40.
So let's just say, so how many cars do you think you can fit in that jail? Maybe 100?
Not the jail, across 375.
So
you're talking about 100. Yeah,
in a general lot, you can fit 100 cars. So you're talking about
average.
So you can fit $4,000 worth of cars in that lot. So if you say there's a $600 fine for having a polluted lot, and if you find that the lot owner, and it doesn't even have to be the guy that working with the little.
The flags,
but it's the legitimate lot owner, like it is with the house owner when it's a dilapidated house. The next time there's a concert or a game or something, they're going to be proactive to make sure they're not getting that $500 flat, because you don't want to lose 20% of your cash. Just because
they'd rather pay $100 to have somebody keep it clean.
Exactly. More jobs in Detroit. Who's that? Tell me if you ever thought that Detroit needs jobs. Raise your hand.
I mean, you could even have a recycling bin, one that says returnables for actual returnable cans.
Well, you couldn't do that because
those would disappear.
Those would get rummaged through.
That's fine. I don't care about that.
If
you
you're
can have them just out, but if they were by the entrance to a lot where the person is actually policing cars coming in and out, then it could work.
My work has around the campus solar powered ones that are compact every so often. But you can't get your hand in there all the way, so maybe something like that. So
that just sounds like a liability nightmare, though.
Yeah,
oh God!
Somebody put their hand in there.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're solar powered. So
they also have to be chained to the ground.
Yeah.
Some people would steal the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then the copper wires go away.
There's a reason why they're over by the campus of my work.
Scrappers take $80,000 of air conditioning off the roofs of a building for $800 of wiring. I mean, it's just that's why I was playing devil's advocate earlier with the returnables and stuff. If you got rid of the returnable,
and next thing you know, 696 and 75 are flooding all over again.
Right, but if you got rid of the returnable deposits in the first place, a lot of these problems would go away.
Let's not focus about the returnables, but like the red solo cups and the random garbage.
Yeah.
If you put those cans, I mean.
Then
we have a free market economy, so everyone's somebody's going to pick up those 10-cent cans. But what we're really worried about is the garbage bags, the random loose cases, the other stuff that we have that's not returnable. That stuff isn't going to get randomly picked because nobody really cares about it. So if you build a garbage can for that, we're kind of
right.
Again, devil's advocate though, people are just drunk people, especially, are just going to throw everything into one.
Drunk people are not going to pay attention between recyclables.
Right, and then
true. Yeah.
What happens?
You might think you're
if you
going
work
to,
in an industry where you see a lot, working at a convenience store or something. You've seen this, I'm sure, a million times. Somebody's going to come by and they're going to pick through to get the returnables, and they're not going to put
free
the
market economy
back.
Yeah, throw the garbage all over the place.
So that's
to get
the
the
thing.
10 cents.
It's unique to Michigan because we're the only state that has a 10.
But we have a 97% recycle rate.
We do,
which is higher
It's one of the pro and cons of the.
Well, I'm looking at something right now, and even if somebody were to invest in a company that literally drops off a dumpster and brings it back, some of these dumpsters only cost $150.
Yeah.
And at that point, you only need one person to do cleanup, and then the other
couple of push brooms, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Get one of those bagsters from Waste Management.
Or the little thing that picks up.
Yeah, you can hold. How many pounds can that hold? Imagine if it's just cups and cans and cardboard.
And that's really all it is, right?
Yeah, $40-$50, and they'll give them a call and they'll pick it up.
I mean, as long as they're kind of propped up, because it's just a bag.
What if
stuff's going to blow in?
What if the city just says, "Hey, if you operate a lot, you're going to give us $10 for every game, and we'll send Waste Management to your lot and clean it up every week."
Right.
It's one of those where do you want government to intervene? How do you want them to intervene?
To be
What do you
honest,
want to be
there's a
done?
business opportunity readily available for that, to where a law can be made and a business can be created.
But it's so hard to do anything in the city of Detroit because of handshakes and old boys clubs. That it's not possible.
It's so true. That's why I'm laughing.
Well, it's the city of Detroit has a lot of issues in regards to just so many different things. Like I was helping with a restaurant being opened in Midtown, and it took literally like 3.5-4 extra weeks just to get the license for the health inspection to get through, for the liquor license to get through. I mean, they were just sitting there with a thumb up their ass, telling people, "Sorry, we can't open because the city of Detroit won't let us open."
Like imagine if we had a functional city, the people mover, which goes around a mile, could go to 8 Mile and back and forth had we been inventive in the 70s or whenever the people mover were built, but we didn't have that kind of ingenuity, and now we're trying to.
So why is that ringing?
I don't know who that is, but we're actually going right up against the break, so we will be right back with the Better on Draft podcast. And we are back with the Better on Draft podcast. I am Ken. We have a fuller house since we have.
Damn, just stop playing with the Twitch channel.
No, you told me I'm getting in chat. I just told you I was. Let's not derail the conversation as soon as we come back.
So we've got a fuller. Everyone is back for segment number 2.
What are you doing?
As people are using the microphone.
Oh, shit.
Nick doesn't know what he's doing.
I turned Nick off right now. So we've got Newman.
I got the volume on it.
Mute that. Thank you. There we go.
I get yelled at and he breaks things. See what happens around here?
Turn off your radio.
Yeah.
So
Turn down your radio, please, sir.
What? I'm listening to you guys on the radio right now. What?
All right.
So we got Newman from the Detroit Red Wings alumni show here on Podcast
Absolutely,
Detroit.
thank you.
We appreciate you coming down. You're drinking a nice Pabst Blue.
Hell yeah.
PBR, baby.
Hell
Blue
yeah.
ribbon
what we
winning
do.
beer.
Kind of wish, 1844. Am I right? Is that the year?
I don't know. The year should be on there.
Now, 1844, that's the year I was born. So
Those
there we go.
hipsters are walking around in the during the Civil War drinking that, complaining about things, I'm sure.
So
What am I listening to? I'm
say,
still
yeah, I'm
hearing
hearing-
things.
It's Dan's phone.
Is my volume? Oh, am I doing it? You're right.
It was
I'm doing
him
it
the entire time.
now. Did I derail
Yes,
that?
you jerk.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going to turn my back on.
alrighty,
Sorry,
folks.
guys.
Gosh.
So
Turn your
we
phones
have, as we mentioned earlier, we were talking about pretty much trash for the entire first 40 minutes
Thanks,
of
Matt.
this show.
Sorry.
Well, no, you know what?
I'm an outside the box guy.
It was a very good conversation, and it was something that I had never thought of, never had. Brown, I want to bring you up real quick. What are you drinking?
Root beer.
Is it the
worst
best damn root beer ever?
Why, yes, it is.
You know, it's funny. I was around a guy in his early 40s drinking the best damn cherry cola last time. I'm like, dude, that's for women. What are you doing? Like a straight
Cherry
up,
Cola's
like,
good. Okay. Stop.
He told me it tasted like amaretto. I'm like, really? Do you
We
know
had,
what
we, had,
amaretto-
we had Alka-Pop the last time I was here.
We
It was
did.
60s.
You are right.
And you guys love the Henry's Orange.
The
and you guys
Henry's
don't-
Orange tasted like Fanta.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Fago orange, man.
The orange was good.
You are right.
See?
You are
Ginger
right.
ale was all right.
The ginger, not so much, but the orange was amazing. It's for Michigan, it's on point. So
I mean,
We got that at the bowling alley that we bowl at every week now.
you're welcome.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
So,
Thank you, sir.
as we're discussing, we wanted to bring up the Red Wings a little bit just because of that horrible loss last night to Boston. There are basically 5 potential ways for the Red Wings to get in to the playoffs. So, number 1, they win tomorrow. Simple as that. They're in.
Win, they're in. Yeah, third place if
Third
they
place in the Atlantic. Second, the Senators beat Boston. If the Senators beat Boston and the Rings lose,
The
they're in.
Rings?
The Wings.
The Wed Wings.
The Wed Wings. Beer is on me. So, if Detroit has a regulation loss, Boston wins or loses in regulation, meaning that they get a point, we're going to need to have Philly go 0-1-1 or 0-2-0 to claim the second wild card and potentially face Washington. Number 4, the Red Wings get an overtime loss and a Boston regulation loss, third place. And then number 5, the Wings get an overtime loss. Boston wins. Philly cannot do better than 2 points, so they can't have more than a win or 2 ties and a loss. So those are the 5 ways that the Red Wings can make the playoffs. So, and of course, Philly's final game is on Sunday. Boston plays we play the Rangers tomorrow.
Boston plays the Islanders.
Plays the Senators.
No, Senators, and someone else.
Philly plays
the
Pittsburgh and the Islanders, which I do not want to run into Pittsburgh right now at all.
Well, yeah, last time we ran into them, they ran us over.
No, they ran over Philly, too, not too long ago.
Well, you're running into two problems with that one. Right now, Pittsburgh is locked second place in the division. They cannot lose second place. They are locked there because they're not passing Washington. They're nowhere near it.
All right, I'm going to counter your offer real quick. Is Pittsburgh really going to throw it or do anything to lose to Philly? Do you really want that?
No, they're not going to happen. Not going to happen. But this is my point, which we also ran into the other bad scenario. We actually wanted the Rangers to beat the Islanders in their last meeting. It flipped. Islanders beat the Rangers, so now the Rangers are stuck in the wild card instead of the third seed.
Well, no, hold on. The Rangers are still in there. The Islanders are fighting the Rangers right now for the third seed. It's 2 points apart between them.
No, they have identical points right now, and the Islanders have one more game.
Night.
Yeah, Islanders beat the Rangers last night.
Oh, was that? Okay, then I didn't see that last night, so that's a big difference.
Look, long and short, Detroit controls their destiny.
Yes.
Yeah, you win, and all this goes away.
In.
This whole conversation ends.
That's really the entire. Again, we're playing the what ifs, and the funny thing is that Detroit plays first out of all Detroit. Boston plays first too.
The Boston game and the Detroit game are at the same time on Sunday.
That's going to be quite the.
So there won't be scoreboard watching.
I was going to say, that's a picture-in-picture TV game right now.
Still exist.
Tomorrow at 12:30.
So yeah, tomorrow
on the picture-in-picture. We got to watch this.
For those of you who may catch the show tonight on Friday,
it's going to be one of those you're watching the Red Wings game and trying to watch porn and jerk off at the same time.
Wow, that's a little too much. I don't even know if I could pull that off.
Yeah, that's more focused than I know.
A lot of stuff going on.
All right. He's the kind of guy that sets up the helmet for his phone to watch the porn so he can drink his beer and work it at the same time.
So what do you use the paper towel for?
Oh, geez.
Oh, derailed. Here we go.
Who uses paper towel, dude? Seriously.
So what's your guys' opinion on this season? Obviously we have somebody here that has a very harsh opinion about rookie sensation Dylan Larkin.
All right, yes.
So we'll roll right into that, and I'm sure a conversation will happen from there.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll be the bad guy. We need to shop and push Dylan Larkin out the door ASAP. Dylan Larkin is top 5 in all offensive stats. Besides assists, he's top 10 this season. So he's not going to get Rookie of the Year or anything like that, but we need to shop him. We need to find... What's his name? Exactly.
He's getting ready.
We need to shop Larkin for a top-line defenseman. We don't have one. We need to shop one because we have... Nyquist, we have Tatar, we have Mantha, we have Antanasiou. We have top-line offensemen. We need to find a defenseman that can stand up to the caliber of offense guys. The reason we keep losing is because we don't have a defense. We have 8 guys that wouldn't be on anybody else's top or even second line defense.
The great thing about Matt right now is he's kind of like Darren McCarty, which means he is smoking a lot of hashish. From a standpoint of the Larkin stuff, are you out of your head?
Yeah, he's hot right now. Okay, next year, let's look at Nyquist. Last year, we all thought in January and February that Nyquist was the next coming of Fedorov,
and he's not.
Exactly. So we thought that we can't touch Nyquist last year, and now he can't put the puck in the goal.
Who is we?
That's a good question.
Who is we?
Everybody in Detroit thought Nyquist was
not everybody in Detroit. Guys that really don't know hockey are saying we can't even talk about Nyquist. We can't talk about Tatar. Right?
No, but we thought Nyquist put in 14 goals in 12 games, and we thought he was the next coming of Fedorov.
Who was we? We just talked about that.
Sports radio. There's no everybody in the
Matt apparently
sports radio.
Come on. Matt thinks he's the equivalent of Chris Shelton on the Red
Orange Crush.
Yeah.
We got Orange Crush over there because he is Chris Shelton. Look, dude. When it comes to Dylan Larkin is really at a point right now. He's not had this type of minutes on the ice. And we will be the first to tell you, you know what? The guy is just not doing it right now. But I'm going to tell you, if you compare Dylan Larkin with Tatar or Glendenning or Nyquist, it just doesn't work. Because you know what? They're not the same talent level.
I agree, but I can shop a guy like Dylan Larkin to the other 29 teams because it's like the NBA draft. You don't draft on where they're going to show up today. It's where you think they're going to go. So I can take a guy like Larkin, like we could have done with Mrazek 3 years ago, and say, "Hey, I've got this great commodity. Give me something back." And the big thing in the Red Wings is we need, defense help. We have one guy that belongs on the top two lines, which is DeKeyser, and Cronwall is great, but he's kind of lost.
Cronwall is not great. Come on.
So,
There's only two defensemen we should even keep right now. I would scrap the other four.
No, there's one. It's Danny DeKeyser. And the only reason he's with us is because he's
not the only one. I would keep Marchenko, too, because he's still young and has got room to grow. The other guys are awful now.
Okay, exactly. So we take a guy who everyone thinks the world of, like Larkin, where we have a bunch of position. We've got Nyquist, we've got Tatar, we've got
I would rather trade Nyquist still.
No,
if we could get rid of Nyquist.
Yeah, you are not going to trade Larkin.
Trade Larkin now.
You are not going to trade.
What are you banking on having like sophomore blues for another team? Hell no.
I guarantee you, I will put this in stone now. I'll put my reputation in it.
No way,
Larkin,
you have no reputation.
Okay. Larkin, hear me now and fear me later. Larkin will never score more goals in a season than he has in his first year.
I've got $1,000 on the table right now.
Whoa.
To say that.
Larkin will never. What has he got? 23 right now. He will never have more goals in a season than he does his first year.
That's incredible.
I don't think so.
He will not score. He has 20 goals right now. He will not have 100 goals in his first 5 years.
Nope.
I will spot you first year.
Larkin is not Fedek, right? If you remember Brent Fedek, right, where he was like, everybody loved Brent Fedek. And I love Brent Fedek. But you know what? When you look at his entire career, he had 97 career goals. 97, right? Larkin is different. Larkin is more Yzerman than he.
Sorry, I disagree. Larkin is opportunistic. He finds himself in the right place at the right time. Detroit right now is playing
skill though.
He is playing Detroit. The Detroit Red Wings.
The great thing about podcasts like this is I've got guys that really like Batman as opposed to, hey, I really know hockey.
So really quickly, Dylan Larkin is sitting at presently. This is straight from NHL.com. 23 goals, 22 assists for 45 points with a plus-minus of 12, and only 34 penalty minutes. So that's irrelevant. But
Larkin right now was set up to be the next captain, where it was Abdelkader.
No,
and we love Justin Abdelkader, at least I do. But
Abby's good.
He was next to be the captain. But with what Larkin is doing now, as a 19-year-old, he is going to be the next captain.
That he should be a captain for another team. I'm sorry. I love the Waterford.
Why do you hate Larkin?
I don't hate Larkin. I just think
why?
I want to shut.
You just want to get more.
Detroit needs a defense. Detroit doesn't have defense right now. That's
so
why.
We're not talking defense. We're not talking Larkin because Larkin doesn't play defense.
Exactly.
And I'm with you.
Exactly.
They absolutely do need more defense.
What's Lidstrom doing next year? Can we get him back?
Tell me what.
Hold on a second. No. Aren't we the Detroit Red Wings? Why don't we just out-draft everybody like we always do and draft some good defense?
I was going to say, because, I mean, what about the draft?
Doesn't matter where we pick.
Is there
doesn't matter where we pick. We
Darian Hatcher's got to be hanging out somewhere.
Yeah, so a fucking Huey Krupp is right there.
No, it's all about, what's his name? Solmstrom or whatever. Michael whatever. But listen.
Let's get Gunnar Stahl into the game. Can we do that, Ken?
Here's my point.
Kenny Wu?
What a cake eater. What a cake eater Evan Banks is. Listen, I don't hate Dylan Larkin, but his shop value is higher than anything that Detroit's had in.
Shut up, dude. Let's look at Nyquist last year.
Ken is going to spill his beer out of his mouth here.
Come on. Seriously, dude.
We got a good show.
Well, let's
Larkin, we're not trading.
Trade Larkin now.
No.
I will stand outside like a Trump rally.
So-
Trade Larkin. Make Larkin someone else again.
So hold on. One of our viewers on Twitch actually has a question. Maybe both of you, being that you guys are the most involved in this conversation. He's asking, did you guys weigh in our playoff chances? He's curious.
0%.
0%.
0%. So
Wow.
they're going to lose tomorrow.
0% that the Detroit Red Wings are going to make the playoffs.
0%.
I would say, is it 0 to make it or 0 to actually have any success in the playoffs?
They get
Zero
third
in both.
place. They're
Zero in
going
both.
a ways.
What do you think?
You know what?
You said earlier they control their own destiny.
They do control their own destiny.
Yes.
And on our show, and my co-host, Eddie Mio, had said we need to win the next 5 games. Obviously, we lost last night. The way that it stands tomorrow, we're playing
The Rangers.
the Rangers at 12:30. And
Is that a home game or is it an away game?
no, that's an away game.
MSG, we haven't won an MSG since 2009.
Oh, dude, that just doesn't matter. So
We haven't won.
and I'm at the point right now because I'm talking with you.
No, go on.
We haven't won Philly since 1998.
Okay, Joe,
Hold on.
The Rangers are going to rest guys tomorrow because they've got everything that they need locked up. Detroit needs to play well, and they will play well. And it's I don't want to sound like a homer, but I'm going to tell you, Detroit's going to win tomorrow. They're going to make the playoffs.
Who's your goalie? Is it Jimmy or is it Peter?
Jimmy.
Well,
Sorry.
that's the other thing we were talking about.
I want to know about from the alumni guy. Who's your guy? If you were Blash, if you're Blash, are you going to ride Jimmy? Or are you going to ride Peter? Not just now, but in the future.
Jimmy was told by Blash as he was walking off after he got pulled yesterday, "You're still my guy." Jimmy Howard is the goalie. He's a $5 million goalie. Mrazek is a $925,000 goalie. Right. The way that it stands right now, I'm going with Jimmy Howard.
Okay.
Well, point being is, other than last night, last night was the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last night.
It takes me a minute. I work nights. You got to give me a minute.
He works
Days
at the
are
casino,
a blur to
dealing with
me.
people.
Okay. Other than last game, Jimmy's been on fire. He's been the hot hand for Detroit. So I fully agree. You play Jimmy Howard tomorrow. He's been good. Last game was a rough game against Boston. Boston's a high offensive power team, though. Boston's been struggling at home, too. We dropped the ball there. But you know what?
Boston is the only team in the playoff picture with a losing record at home.
Yes. And us and Philly are the only 2 teams in the playoff picture that have negative goal differentials.
Yep.
That just pointless statistics.
No, I agree. Yeah, one game to the next doesn't matter when it comes to home or away.
Yeah.
That's a red herring.
Although I got to be honest.
Trying to argue.
We need the 3rd seed. We can't take the wild card seed. Right
You don't
now, I
want
want to play
Washington.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay without Stamkos, I will play Tampa Bay every day of the week.
But
They're still a good team, but without Stamkos, I'm not worried about Tampa Bay.
Last year we played Tampa and Stamkos scored 1 goal. Tyler Johnson scored 7.
Oh yeah.
But it just doesn't matter.
He made love to our face, Tyler Johnson.
Stamkos on the
last
ice,
year,
and you're
though,
paying
too.
attention to Stamkos, though. That's
It
what I'm saying.
doesn't matter. I don't care. 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round. There is not a person in this room. There's nobody that believes that the Detroit Red Wings right now can win the Stanley Cup. Is there anybody right now at this table that'll say you're absolutely wrong? I think we can win the Stanley Cup.
I always, for the fact of the matter is, being the NHL playoffs and the fact that the NHL playoffs, things can, it's not like the NBA playoffs where a 1 seed loses to an 8 seed. Never. You have 8 seeds beating 1 seed, 7s beating 2s.
LA a couple of weeks or a couple of years ago.
And it's not the fact that, do I think sitting right here, Kenneth Konashevsky, host of the Better on Draft podcast, betterondraft.com, says
At Better on Draft.
at Better on Draft on Twitter.
Better on Draft podcast
Better on Draft on
Twitch
Facebook.
TV.
Yep, and Better on Draft podcast. Yep.
I do not think that the Red Wings will win the Stanley Cup. Do I think they can win? Yes. Do I think they will win? No, and I think that's a very important thing to
But why do you
differentiate.
think they can win?
Here's why. Because they're already in the playoffs. The playoffs have been going on for 2 or 3 weeks for them, and those are always the teams that come in on fire. When you're fighting to get into that last spot,
That's
those are
baseball.
the teams. What did the Kings do? Was it 2 years ago in the 8th seed?
Yeah.
That was like
Came in-
4
it
years
was like
ago.
4
4 years ago. My
But
time.
the
Bad.
Kings had a
Still.
hot goalie.
Yeah, but still, when you're fighting to get in, you come in on fire and keep that momentum
But
going.
again, you look at both Jimmy Howard and Peter Mrazek can both be hot. You look at Jimmy Howard against Chicago when we biffed the 3-1 lead. You look at Mrazek last year against Tampa Bay, against a team who, for the most part, really outplayed us. But Peter Mrazek was so hot in net that he kept us in those games and created such a large chance for us to win that we were up until the 7th game, 3rd period, we were still in it.
I think the road to the cup is through Peter Mrazek. And I think he lost his mojo, and I think that's why we've regressed. I think the difference between Pete and Jimmy is Pete leaves the goal to cut down the angle of the shooter, and he lost that when he lost his mojo. And Jimmy Howard is an in-goal netminder. So I don't
would
hate
beg to differ in regards to Jimmy. I've seen Jimmy so far out of the net that I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
But I think he's learned that from Pete.
That helped against
And I
Philly.
think that Pete has him better at that, and the reason why he's doing that is because of Peter. But the reason why Pete has regressed because he's got that hamstring, and he can't do what Peter the Great has been doing.
Jimmy is Ozzy, and Peter
no
is
way.
Manny.
No way.
Is who?
Manny.
Okay, hold on. Hold.
Manny Legacy.
Okay, I will cut in here right now, and
Tell me about Bob Essenza, please.
I will cut in, and I think Peter is good. I don't think he's bad as Manny was.
Which one's Cujo?
Cujo? I would. Hold on.
How are you going to say Manny was bad?
I would more.
Did you not at the alumni game? Did you?
I'm going to just continue this conversation and go forward and say I would liken this more to Peter Mrazek and Jimmy Howard, and more comparable to Chris Osgood and Dominic Hasek circa 2008.
What about Joaquin Benoit versus Jose Valverde circa 2010?
Yeah, but isn't Valverde the one that had a perfect season?
49, baby.
Wasn't Peter Mrazek the hot one like 3 months ago?
Peter was, but Peter has not had this type of ice time.
But he has.
ever
He had-
in his career.
He had it in the call. He won the Calder Cup for the Griffins. He was better.
Still,
He stood on
that's
his
like
head.
saying, "Oh my God, he stood up for the fucking Detroit Vipers."
No,
We're not talking the same amount of time, dude.
no. Nyquist, Tatar, they were all on De Kaiser, all on the same team.
Turner Cup champions.
That
They can be all
they
on-
broke the cup. And hell, they were playing the Syracuse Crunch, which is the
The
Tampa Bay Lightning team.
competition level is not the same.
But Nike.
Anyway, Ken, how dare you compare anyone to Dominic Hasek, you savage.
Hey, Peter's a check too. Peter's a check too.
Okay, Mrazek's modeled most of his play.
Does he have a gold medal?
That's
I didn't think
He,
so.
no, he's got a junior's gold medal. He probably does.
Does he have a real gold medal?
Hey, it's goldish.
Did he play against Trinidad and Tobago?
Oh no, he beat Jamaica. Team Jamaica. That they were.
Are we talking U.S. soccer now?
I think we're attempting to make Mighty Ducks 2 references here.
They were a bobsledding team. No, they didn't beat Iceland. They beat Jamaica.
Enough people said. Or I'll stop saying it.
Did you guys want to talk Red Wing alumni at all? Some of our games.
Sure, why not? What exactly is the Red Wing alumni? Why don't you explain that to us?
Well, I'll tell you, the Detroit Red Wing alumni, as we're joking about it, but we play about 25 to 30 games per year. We play throughout the country. These are guys that played either in the NHL professionally or for the Detroit Red Wings. And it's just one of those things where a lot of people love going into a barn. Some of these barns, those of you that play hockey know that, we could be in Hazel Park or Lakeland or something like that. And they go through, and they're all charity games where we don't, play for the charity. They contract with us, and then we play, and then we try and put a team together.
Can you give us a couple names of people who come?
I'll tell you what, there are 4 guys that I can tell you right now that play pretty much every single game, and that's Klima, Brent Fedek, John Ogrodnik, Eddie Mio, guys that played for the Red Wings. They're going to be at every single game. And then we kind of rotate between Koser, McCarty, Cesarelli, Larry Murphy, Maltby, Draper, guys that you remember growing up, guys that you remember saying, oh my God, yeah, that guy's great, that come on in and, they skate and we have a lot of fun doing it.
And how? Whoa, man, we're having some crazy problems with the microphone.
Yeah, who plays goal?
Oh, is it right there? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay.
Who's the goalie on this?
Our primary goalie is Eddie Mio, number 41. Played for Detroit. He played for Edmonton, and he played for the New York Rangers. We always say that Eddie's claim to fame is that he was Wayne Gretzky's best man at his wedding. But he was still a good goalie. Our backup is Greg Malachi. Greg Malachi is a former 2-time national champion with University of Michigan. We also use George Bowman. George Bowman, his grandfather was Ralph Scotty Bowman, who formed actually the Red Wing alumni.
And who do you guys play?
You know what? We play anybody from, cerebral palsy to church leagues. Anybody that wants to come in, they're trying to generate money, generate funds. And they put their teams together. It's a bunch of ham and eggers. It's not a bunch of guys that are good
It's not
guys.
about winning. It's just about raising money for charity.
So you guys find a rink and you guys show up and...
Well, we don't find a rink.
Well,
they
these guys
find
find a
us.
rink.
We look through. We've started over the past few years. Stu Grimson last year. Who used to play for...
That's a great name.
There you go.
Yeah, Stu used to play for Detroit, and he has now formed the Nashville Predators alumni. So last year we were able to go in and play the Predators alumni in Nashville right after the Red Wings game. So they did their main game, and then we went in, and then we played the Predators alumni.
Oh.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
So it's a great thing. All the guys love it. The guys love coming back. They love playing. Even guys like Krushelnyski that we remember the name, but they won a Stanley Cup with Detroit. They have greater names in Toronto, but they love coming back because I'm telling you, the Wing Wheel is one of the greatest brands.
It's pretty iconic.
hockey.
It's
Yes.
most noticeable across the 4 major sports.
Correct.
And maybe even on the other side where hockey is pretty Russia, the rest of Europe.
Well, and that's the other thing is we've got a lot of the Russian guys that will come back. Even guys like Sergei Samsonov, who is only a couple years removed. They love coming in, love playing. Because I'll tell you, the best story that we have is Mike Knubel, a couple years, played for us on the alumni side, and we were playing a game in Grand Rapids. And within 2 weeks of that game, Philly called him and asked him for a professional tryout, what we call a PTO. And, so he's playing for the Red Wing alumni. 2 weeks later, he's playing for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
Oh.
That's awesome.
How does the game get like a normal hockey game competitive wise, or is it kind of like alumni showdown at Comerica Park, that kind of toned down a little bit? Like what's the level of play? Is it pretty competitive?
For most part, it used to be pretty competitive, and then as you go through, because I'll tell you, our guys when they're playing, they can flick a switch where all of a sudden they're playing back where they want to. In most cases, it's like I said, it's a bunch of ham and eggers that are playing. They're like, oh my God, I get to play against Mickey Redmond.
Right.
And Mickey is 67 years old, but I'll tell you, he can skate down that ice better than most guys that you'll ever meet. So when you look at it, you're saying that No, it's not a competitive game. And over the past couple of years, we've had guys that have come in and said, you know what, we really want to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got our team where the guys are on the ice and are like, we're here for the fans. We're trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, like, even this year we started doing it where we looked at the team we were playing and saying, you know what, to be competitive is great, but you're really not here to be competitive, and you can't be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do a shootout where the referee will call, a penalty shot, and then all of a sudden we have like 8 guys that line up and saying, we're going to shoot on your goalie, and they're all going to count.
So it's kind of like a Harlem Globetrotters kind of thing a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the extent of...
It's more concentrated on the entertainment as opposed to the competition. That's kind of like...
That's actually what we've started over the past couple of years, because teams that come in that are saying we want to beat the Red Wing alumni, it's not what we do.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're there so that you can raise money.
Yeah.
Right. And so if it comes down to let's be competitive, no, you really don't want to be competitive, because if it comes down to that, you're just not going to be able to do it.
Team Iceland.
Team Iceland.
We're going to take a quick break. We are up against the time. We will be right back with a Better on Draft podcast. And we are back. There we go. We are back with the Better on Draft podcast. The final segment, I was kind of getting some stuff ready and didn't realize that the song was almost
After you
over.
said how much time we had left, you were the one.
I know. I had
yeah.
the timer going in my head, so it's just like, all right, wait.
I don't know how to handle that kind of time. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Anyways, we are back. We still have Newman here from the Detroit Alumni Show. We're going to be talking a little bit about beer, because we did open Bourbon County Coffee from 2015.
And it is a beer show, so we should talk about beer a little bit.
Yeah, so we do have the Bourbon County Coffee 2015. Now, have you guys had a chance to, as we're trying to figure out our audio, thankfully it's not going to be affecting you guys. Have you guys had a chance to try it yet? Have you guys got a chance to taste it?
What's the camera doing, by the way, Nick? It's like moving around, going all crazy.
Well, we're trying to fix the audio issue here. I think it's cord. So the cord for the camera might be moving around.
So one thing I will preface this whole thing with is because I was still, before the show, was looking for the batch numbers to see if this particular one is infected or not. Couldn't find it. I know, Ken, you were looking for it too.
Yeah,
but
couldn't
I
find
guess
it either.
just for Smithsonian references. This was bottled September 17th, 2015. It is batch number 1210.
Yeah, so it doesn't taste infected. It tastes oxidized, which is causing that tart flavor to it. Completely different things, which people are like, infected, but we've covered this the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The retarded are the ones calling it infected. This is oxidized.
That's mean. You can't
No,
say
it's not, because if you've seen what these people are saying, they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to beer, and I've had people the last 2 weeks backing me up on this, what we're talking about. It's oxidized.
You can definitely taste the tartness, though.
Which comes from the
doesn't-
oxidation from the barrels.
As a hoppy person, it tastes. I don't like the viscosity, to be honest. It tastes a little bit.
It doesn't taste like it's supposed to.
It does. It tastes thick on the back of your tongue.
But it's not infected. It's the oxygen that got into it. I can tell you right now from tasting it. From being a home brewer, I don't know. Rob, anyone else in here?
It might
this
not
is
be an
in your beer.
infected beer per se, as much as it is a oxidized beer itself. So
I would say I was just a Mr. Beer guy, so my home brewing is completely invalidated.
But you make yourself look stupid using wrong. Oh, it's infected. Well, Nick looked up what an infected beer looks like.
And again,
Yeah,
it's not
pretty disgusting.
It's not the fact that it's the Bourbon County Coffee was in fact infected. Like that's something that some of the batches we fully agree and understand that it has happened. Goose Island has come out and given out refunds because of it, but Matt wants to.
They said it was infected. They said they were off flavor.
Off flavor.
There you go. That's not infection.
Quick question. There's been kind of a bit of hype in the market recently that a New Holland bourbon aged is roughly on the par of the Founders KBS. So it's all bourbon, stouty.
The Dragon's Milk, it's one of the best bourbon barrel aged.
So people line up for Founders KBS, And then you can find a New Holland Dragon's Milk
24/7, 365. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to discuss the idea that there's hype behind some things just because it's hype-ish.
Oh, we did that week one.
Okay, well then I'm going to go ahead and sit in the corner again.
No, you're good. No, we've had that conversation. I'm not someone who will stand in line. Why would I when you have Dragon's Milk, for example, which is in like the top 3 or 4 of the bourbon barrel age, when here I have the tart flavored coffee thing that sat around for a year and people lined up for and spent $25 a bottle.
Right. I think there's Michigan's a great beer state. I mean, I think it's like listed number 4 out of 50, obviously, because there's 50 states.
That's about right. 4, 5, 6.
Sure, it's 50.
Are we counting Guam?
Oh no, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
What about the Democrats abroad?
And some,
is that a country?
Superdelegates. What about the superdelegates for beer?
Some might say that the UP is a different state, which kind of.
Hey, they wanted to be.
They're Packer country. They don't have an economy,
though.
But we do have some great beer, and I think I was talking to Ken about this. Sheboygan Blood Orange, and I don't know if this is like highly
Ken's
known
giving a
yet.
thumbs up.
I think Sheboygan Blood Orange is the next Oberon, and it might be. Oh my God! Don't talk, sacrilege about Oberon.
Are you kidding me? You should see what the people like to talk about Oberon right now. Is
they're hating on it.
It's the biggest hate fest in the world talking about
I think
Oberon.
If you haven't tried Sheboygan Blood Orange, they come in 4-packs. They're $9.
I love Tapestry's Mr. Orange more. Like I like Sheboygan's Blood Orange, but in regards to beers of that style and flavor profile,
I mean it's a wheat ale just like Oberon. It's blood orange instead of regular orange. Mm-hmm. It's got some honey to increase the ABVs from 5 to 7.2, so you get a little bit of a bigger buzz. It's just a whole all around different kind of situation. So it's kind of like when those people think like, oh shit, I've had Oberon for so many years, and I keep being promised it's not different, but it tastes different, this, that, and other thing. Well, here's something that you're probably gonna like a little bit. Sheboygan Blood Orange. Last time.
Sheboygan
Blood Orange. Sheboygan Blood Orange.
They also have a number 11 IPA, which is modeled after a guy that pulled this guy out of a burning building. It's got a Maltese cross on it. And he brewed a beer for this guy, and it's got a Maltese cross. It's a great IPA.
It was an IPA. What a shame.
So
if somebody brewed an IPA for me, I'd be very pissed off.
Out of curiosity,
Ken, I'm going to brew an IPA just for you.
Yep.
We still got that security finance IPA still bouncing around.
Yeah, that's
not bad. I liked it. Yeah. Drank it a little
Speaking
bit.
of New Belgium, has anybody been to a tap takeover besides me?
Ew.
Do they have 86 variants of Fat Tire?
They had all the.
Are they also all out of date? Slow kick from like 2004.
The one I went to had
beer
all,
right now. Give him a minute.
The one I went to had all of Dragon's Milks, all the different flavors of Dragon's Milk.
Oh, I think
There's New Belgium.
I thought you said New Belgium.
I heard New Belgium. You meant New Holland.
New Holland.
No, there's I'd go to that.
There's like 18 of them now.
I literally, I went to a party
pretty
store at 13 in Harbor, and I found an entire shelf of New Belgium, and every single one was out of date. Like nobody buys them. I could have been a wine cellar, which is like a feather duster on the New Belgium. There was like Pump Kick. There was Slow Ride, like Rampant from like 4 years ago.
Shift?
They might have well have. I mean, Helen Keller
pick that up.
Helen Keller might have sold
gosh.
beer.
So
go to the New Holland tap.
I'm going to swing it over to one of our guests. We got Newman over here, obviously swigging down the PBR.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, not at all.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Never.
Do you stray away from the PBR? Have you tried any different beers, some of the newer beers that have come out within the last, decade even?
You know what I'm going to tell you? You guys would hate me. Because
No, we don't.
No.
Hold on.
Never,
Newman, I'm going to tell you something.
Go strong. Go strong.
One of our mottos is based off of one of our sponsors, and the slogan is, if you like it, it's a good beer.
Well, I'll tell you this. That I do. I like PBR. I like
fine.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I love
But when
Stroh's.
I
Do you
go
like
away
Stroh's?
from that, I absolutely love Samuel Adams Cherry Wheat.
Well, that's a great beer.
It is
Do you know
Solid choice.
Do you know that 70% of Sam Adams cherry wheat is consumed in the state of Michigan?
Really?
Oh,
really?
really
Sam Adams
that's
cherry
shocking.
wheat does not sell anywhere else besides Michigan.
no kidding.
I swear to God, 70% of Sam Adams cherry wheat is Michigan because it doesn't sell otherwise.
So with how Sam Adams cherry wheat is selling in the state of Michigan, how do we feel about Poolside coming out from Bell's?
Yeah,
because that's pretty much cherry wheat in the sense to where it's a
There's
wheat ale
also
with cherry juices.
isn't there a cherry saison from who is that?
Rochester Mills has a cherry saison. That's the Lips of Faith, and then you have the cherry sizer from Bee Nectar, which is Zombie Killer.
Yeah, so it's kind of like polluting the market, like Twisted Tea. I don't know y'all if you like that. Like I think Twisted Tea is the greatest kind of like morning beverage. But they had a frosted cherry, which is all Traverse City, Michigan cherries, but legit like Sam Adams cherry wheat doesn't sell outside of Michigan, just like Summer Shandy doesn't sell out of the Midwest either. It's kind of one of those Midwest only kind of situations.
I will tell you also that my guys, even though we are sponsored by Bud Light, we hate to say that. Well, I guess we don't hate
Why
to
do you
say
hate
that.
to say that?
Now, we are sponsored by Bud Light, but I know that in our contract, when we, play a charity, they are required to put at least 3 cases of Bud Light, but most of our guys love Blue Light.
Yeah, it's Canadian.
Yeah, it's Canadian, eh? So it's what we love.
No, not Molson. Not Molson.
So
No, Molson. I will tell you, in the alumni room,
Moosehead.
what
Let's
a
get
lot
some
of
Moosehead
people
going.
don't understand is we have an alumni room also at the Joe Louis Arena, where a lot of people will go to the Olympia room and say, "Oh my God, that's the greatest bar." If you go to the left instead of the right, we have an alumni room, and in that alumni room, the primary beer that we sell is Molson Canadian.
Are you allowed to general admission to that room?
No.
Exactly.
No, you have to have a nice little card. Like when you go to the Olympia room, you go right and there's a guy standing there.
Yep.
But if you go to the alumni room, there are 2 pretty
doors.
much
Stay away doors.
Yeah, there are stay away doors with another person there saying, "Where are you going?" And we're like, "Yeah, you can't go in there."
Yeah.
But the great thing about our alumni room is for the Molson Canadian and the Bud Light and the Labatt Blue and the Blue Light, it's $2.50 a beer. So it's not like the $9 a beer.
Yeah.
It's $2.50 a beer, $3 for a mixed drink.
Can I get your name and can you put me in the list?
Can you get a hookup?
$9 for a Griffin Claw at 16 ounce. Can I please get your name?
And the great thing, well, it's not great, but we don't even have tap beer in there. Yeah, we will in the new arena.
No, it's
we'll
fine.
have tap. So.
Yeah,
$9 for a 16 ounce Miller Lite.
It's crazy. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
When you're like, it's $9. And we're like, so if we go out of there that night and we're like, we got a $17 tab, we're like, yeah, we had a pretty good night.
Nice.
Wham Bam Trans Am on Twitch says thank you for the Sam Adams comment, Matt, about being
So
because apparently Rod was ridiculing him.
Getting comments on Twitch.
Ridiculing her about the Sam Adams that they talked about last week.
True story, though. I mean, it's just facts. I'm not trying to make stuff up.
we have more than enough cherry festivals, so I guess when you think about it, it made sense.
So we had Untapped.
And we had a lot of
remember when we did the bracket for Untapped?
Yes,
we had,
yes. How did we do?
Boston, we did not do well. We had Boston Beer Co. versus Boston Beer Co. versus Bell's.
Is that a beer me?
Yeah, we need another beer. Here, I'll get up. I'll get up for a minute. I'll be right back.
I got him the last one.
I'll get up.
Rock, paper, scissors, no.
So we had the semifinals, which was Founders defeating Ballast Point, as well as Stone Brewing defeating Dogfish Head. And going into the finals, now Dogfish Head really squeaked by a lot of people. They beat Sierra Nevada by 60. And I'm pretty sure, as I'm attempting to look for Dogfish Head over on
is Deschutes on that page by chance?
Deschutes is on that page. Yep,
it's on the bracket, I believe.
Deschutes went and lost to New Belgium.
Oh, come on! I call shenanigans
in round 3.
No, this is my check-ins on
Deschutes defeated Pabst, followed by Miller, and then lost to New Belgium.
Somebody wants to recount.
But how are those on the same? How is Pabst, Miller, and Deschutes on the same page?
Oh, that's a great question. Pabst was a 14 rank. Miller was 11 ranked. Deschutes was 3.
Okay, but like, in what world are the two breweries? I mean,
what they did was that they ranked them based on check-ins for I think the previous 3 months and how many check-ins they had. So that's how they got a ranking system for the top 64.
I mean, I get that. That might make sense, but who goes to, like, I mean, I've been to Milwaukee. It's probably one of the best cities in the world just because of all the beer there. But who goes to, you can sit. There isn't a Milwaukee hockey team, so we can't fight about that. But who goes to the Milwaukee wherever and, like, checks in the Miller Brewing Company?
So it's not checking in the brewery, it's checking in their beer. So every Miller Lite, Miller.
The thought is you don't check in a macro beer like a Miller or Bud or
we checked
Pabst.
in Natty Daddy.
We checked in Natty Daddy, and people toasted Natty Daddy.
Many people toasted Natty
Daddy. Do you feel bad now? Do you feel bad?
No.
Do you need to take a shower? Because you're terrible.
I think it's hilarious.
Hey, I took the shower. It came off.
Checked it in.
Hey, tell me about that Steel Reserve.
We'll let you know.
No comment.
Exactly. You guys are awful people. I can't wait till you guys are just awful.
Awful.
But the thought is Deschutes and Miller or Pabst, they don't belong in the same bracket because they're Deschutes.
So did Middle Tennessee belong in the bracket with Michigan State?
No, because Middle Tennessee was better.
It's the same thing. It's
not. It's not, though, because Miller makes 5 billion barrels of beer a year, and Deschutes makes maybe 1 million.
But again, wasn't Miller was an 11 rank as opposed to Deschutes as a 3rd rank. Deschutes got knocked out by New Belgium,
which is even garbager.
who in sense got knocked out by Stone.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Sure.
Do you know how New Belgium has their yeast strain? Because they went and knocked on Keith Vella's door of Blue Moon and said, "Hey, we can't get our yeast right." And Keith Vella gave his daughter's hairbrush because he was brushing his daughter's hair when the founders of New Belgium came to his door. He gave the hairbrush to New Belgium and said, "Brush my daughter's hair." Fixed his yeast strain, gave it back to New Belgium, and that's why New Belgium has a beer strain.
No. He got his yeast straight because he got my high school girlfriend.
Oh, jeez.
Who had a high yeast.
Once again.
Wow.
And that's why we can't have nice things.
We're on the wrong train.
So in other news.
Clearly on the wrong train.
In other news.
My story is true.
I'm sure it is.
So was it also high yield?
So it looks like nearly 15,000 check-ins were in the championship between Stone and Founders.
Yeah, and Stone squeaked out to Founders.
Only by a few hundred.
So as we move away from that, there's one thing, and is we got about 13 minutes to go, and it's pretty much the annoying things of the craft beer fanatics. And one of the big things on there is drain pouring. Now, have any of us now? Not because we weren't able to finish. Don't look at me for that one. That's all you, Dan. You and Nick.
I thought that was that best damn whatever. I was like, why are you handing this? No, this is good. Thank you.
I gotta say really quick, Sparty, do we even have any female listeners?
Oh yeah,
we probably do.
We do.
Wham Bam Trans Am.
GTF
and the owl hoot whatever.
I don't know about going to the competition, but
oh wait, hold on. We got messages, and this is why female listeners are heading to your.
That's what I was talking about.
Who is our competition? Can someone tell me?
It's all me.
I'm asking in this.
As we find out our competition, go ahead, Ken.
I typically have a twerk show on the same hours, so.
I'm still. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Wham Bam. We appreciate it.
So, with that in mind, have you guys ever drain poured a beer because it tasted so bad that you didn't want to drink it?
Hoegaarden.
Absolutely.
What's that?
Hoegaarden.
Hoegaarden?
Hoegaarden.
It's actually Hoegaarden.
Hoegaarden?
Okay.
How's it spelled?
It's spelled one, but if you look at the label, it's spelled the phonetics on the label are WHO. But
I'm thinking in Dutch, yeah, so never mind. Keep going.
Hoegaarden.
That would be.
I'm not a Belgian guy. I was told this is the best beer you'll ever drink in your life. And I told the guy, I don't like Belgian beers. But he says, no, it's been around since 1518s. You'll like it. And I knew after I drank it, I didn't like it. So Hoegaarden, not so much.
Anybody else? Drain pourers?
I'd have to think about that.
Drain poured so many bad
I
beers.
will.
You have?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because I have like a very particular style, and people don't seem to hear, like you're saying. People don't hear that, so they're like, "Oh, you try this thing that I know I won't like," and like,
Yeah, like there are so many people. I mean, Michigan is an IPA state, which
I can't stand.
Exactly. So,
right.
Like, if you don't like,
everyone's throwing it in my face.
If you don't like an IPA in Michigan, apparently you're like a communist.
Right.
So,
red bastard.
Everyone says, "Oh, you'll love this," and it's like, "No, I don't like IPAs." Oh, but you'll like this one, and it's like, "No, I won't," because I tell you, I don't like IPAs. I want an amber or a sour or a stout, and they're like, "No," and they shove it in your face, and you're like, "All right, cool. Well, you're my friend. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a shot." And then you pour it, you pop it in a glass, and you drink it, and you're like, God, and you're like, why was I fooled again by some random person? And then you send them a really bad Facebook message or a text message like, how bad of a person they are because you recommended the beer that you hate.
And I'd much rather not drink something I absolutely hate than drink it. So where else is it going to go?
I think there's a difference between, drain pouring and the fact that, like, I offered you a beer because I offered you the 1050. If you didn't like it, you would just give it back to me. And it was one of those, that's how I foresee beer. I'm going to open a beer and I'm going to be like, hey, if you want to try it, here you go. Why don't you try it? So you'll try it because just like me, I'll try any beer except for a chili beer. And if I don't like it, I'll hand it back.
Right. But I'm saying like the person makes them pick it up and then they're they're stuck with like a 4-pack.
So we have the bourbon barrel Imperial Mayan Mocha Stout.
Yeah, like
the BBAIMMS for short. So let's get you guys to try that to see if it is in fact quote unquote.
It's fine. There's no issue.
Is this the one that was just poured to us?
The Mayan Mocha.
Yeah, you have that right now.
Yeah, this is
Dan has one. I think that was the.
This is the third of the quote unquote infected issues that had bourbon.
I don't know if it's just me. Maybe you guys can elaborate. I got this little burning taste in the back of my.
That's the cinnamon in the barrel age.
That is the habaneros.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay. All right.
For those who do not know what this is, it is a stout with coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, and habaneros, and then aged.
Is this not
in
a Christmas
barrel.
beer?
This is not,
definitely not.
I don't know.
Well, it came out in Halloween, so I guess it is a Halloween beer. I don't know.
All right.
Thanksgiving beer.
Oh boy.
I mean, I appreciate the beer for what it is, but as a Michigander, or as Carl Levin calls us, Michigonians.
Oh my God.
Michigan.
He said Carl Levin. Like Carl Levin was relevant.
He's still your senator.
60-some years.
He's still your senator. Like this, this is one of those stout, heavy, thick beers with a heavy viscosity that just don't taste good. If I had milk in a sock with a chili pepper in between, this is what it would taste like. Literally, if I roasted green chilies, put in a Guinness, that's what I think this would taste like.
But you're not getting the green apple tart taste that a lot of people are claiming in regards to the beer.
What I guess my issue is not even an issue. When I was 18, I went to Germany for a couple of weeks, and I drank all the little village beers. I drank a Kolsch, I drank the Bitburgers and all that stuff, and I had a Guinness in there, and it just didn't taste right. And this is kind of giving me the same viscosity of you don't have that clean crispness like I would hope to, because I'm a lager kind of guy. So if you're an ale person that likes having that lingering mouthfeel and you want to have that on your palate, that you're going to love this. Personally, it's just out of my...
Well, Rob, I mean, you bought it. This is your beer. What did you think of it?
To me, there's a bit of tart. There's definitely don't worry about it. There's definitely the heat, and I can pretty much taste all the elements that are there. But it's certainly not the way it was when it first came out.
Okay,
there's a little bit of tart to it.
So it didn't age well. Is what
no, it didn't. It doesn't age well at all. I would probably think that in 3-4 months, maybe 6 months, this could eventually turn into, I guess, what someone would call a drain pour. I'm not going to pour.
So where on the bottle does it say to age the beer?
It says absolutely nowhere on the bottle to age the beer. Because there's nothing on here that says ages well or to.
Because if you look at the Goose Island says ages in 5 years. It says good. Dan, hand me the bottle real quick because the bottle actually has a phrase, and it says develops in the bottle up to 5 years.
Right.
So that is a pretty big difference in regards to what we're talking about with the bourbon barrel imperial Mayan mocha aged stout BBIA LMNOPS.
It basically it's like it just goes through the typical government warning, tells you where it's brewed and has a manufacturing date October 19, 2015. So
it's not giving you an actual. People always assume, bourbon barrel aged, always age. You age it yourself afterwards for the taste to be better. And there are some beers that will come out better. And I know Matt wants to talk real quick. But there are some beers that will actually come out and taste better. We were talking Bourbon County 14 versus Bourbon County 15. And remember when we tried both of those and that the Bourbon County 14 was just so much better. But Matt, what would you like to say?
There's a new trend where since bourbon is so popular that when there's an off batch of whatever your favorite brewer, they throw it into a bourbon barrel and say it's a bourbon batch. Like, for instance, Twisted Tea just came out with a bourbon-aged Twisted Tea. They were trying to do something different, and it didn't work out, so they put in bourbon barrels, and they're saying it's a bourbon Twisted Tea. So the bourbon barrel is now the de facto way to clean out the bad flavors.
It's white out.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, let's talk to two guys who actually drink a little bit more bourbon than the rest of us here. What is your guys' opinion in regards to bourbon barrel aged stouts coming into beer?
I can tell you they're overrated.
Okay.
It comes on your own personal opinion. I like stouts. I love stouts. I drink Guinness all day like water, soaking this guy right over here, Tony. And I like a lot of the other stouts. I like a lot of porters. And, I've had the 2012 Bourbon County. I can tell you it got better as it warmed up.
Yep.
When I drank it cold, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
I literally just kind of sat it down, picked it up about 45 minutes. I was like, I could drink this now. And I was like, and there's no way in hell I'm going to go wait in a line or beg some, party store guy, shopkeeper, whatever, like, hey, save me a bottle for $12.
No, but the thing is, it's not for the shopkeep. It's because these brewers are trying to do new stuff always because every brewer wants to do the newest, trendiest thing.
You're trying to tell me that Odd Side is trying to do new things all the time.
Shenanigans, I know.
Or Shorts is trying to do new things all the time.
Gosh darn it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the thought is, the bourbon barrel flavor is so predominant in so many of these beers that it's a way to dump a bad batch of whatever you're trying to do into and just call it, a bourbon barrel wheat ale. And you can say it is, and then it's a small batch because you're not going to try something big. So if you're Bell's, you can try something new. Call it, let's say, an orange ale. Okay, and if it doesn't taste good,
you don't see that too much from Bell's though. Bell's isn't one that's like
because it's Bell's has Sam Adams then. Okay, let's say Sam Adams tries something new. And it doesn't work out, so they put it in a bourbon barrel and say, all right, it's our bourbon barrel aged XYZ. But because bourbon is trendy, it works out, and they push it, and people like it because that's that new hotness, and it's a way to, hide the impurities. So, thanks.
So, we got a couple more minutes, so I want to make sure everyone plugs their thing. One of the things that I do want to mention is we do have some great sponsors here at the Better on Draft podcast. Yes. 3 Nick Scoreboard down in Allen Park. Ryan, Nicole, don't forget to say hi to them. Eat their food, drink their beer. They got 28 taps there. We got North Center Brewing up in Northville, Michigan. Oh, my gosh. If they have their Maple Brown on draft, you have to try it. It's probably one of the best beers that they have ever made. But they have plenty of other great beers, too. Their Triple, their Saison, their Pumpkin Ale. Obviously, it's not in season, but definitely a lot of great beers. And then, of course, finally, Zatuna up in Rochester Hills. Say hi to Jack, Gus, whoever is there, Ryan, one of their workers there. If you're looking for a beer, Zaytuna is definitely one of the places to go, especially for a release beer. Follow them on Facebook because they always mention when they're going to be releasing beers, whether it's No Rules, KBS, whatever's new, they always post on there.
You'll never find a better selection of beers than you do have at Zaytuna.
Exactly.
Regardless, wherever you are, Macomb, Oakland, Wayne, Zaytuna always has the best.
Tony, how can they find you? You know, your Twitch, your Twitter, all that stuff.
I'm in the chat, so if you click the viewer list, you can just right-click and follow me if you're on Twitch.
Tony Ortiz 15.
Yeah, and
Are you special?
And that's the same thing across all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter. All.
Matt, how can they find you?
They don't really usually find me. If you like me a lot, though, then you can find me at Matt the Beer Guy, which
Matt the Beer Guy.
That's 3 T's in a row.
Yeah, it is. It's Huntington hates me for that same reason.
So Newman, what about you? You have a show. When is the show on?
The show is on Wednesdays live 4 till 5 p.m.
4 to 5, all right.
At Detroit Red Wing Alumni.
All right. Well, we appreciate everyone coming out. This is going to do it for episode number 27. No matter what you think of your beer, we think it's better on draft. Have a good night.
And don't drink and drive.
Nope.
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 And